was for the fact that HcE's draft looks pretty nice, right? They've got a whole lot going on here in terms of the timing that they're going to want to hit. And, you know, Vikings on the other half, it does seem a little bit like, well, let's just pick the Naga Siren and hope we don't lose, then we'll probably win. I mean, what do you make of these two?
I do have to agree. Ease of execution, high octane, high tempo from HcE, and yeah, Viking, they're going for just greed, their own style. They're trying to just greed it up after they saw all these pushing heroes come out. And, you know, I think this Naga Siren is one of the last options that they did have left for the super greedy late game carries, as TB's banned, PL's banned. You want something else that can actually deal with this push and be able to pick and shoot battles to take it to late game. And he actually has some merits. I like that Kevin actually pointed out. Killing the wards is actually pretty big. I feel like you can actually song, kill serpent wards, kill healing wards, set yourself up for some good combos. But it's going to take a while. You know, this Viking draft, it's not going to be a quick one. If it does end up being their favor to win this game, it's not going to be 30 minutes. Unless some weird stuff happens.
See Aramis, he steps up to the high ground. Charlie's able to chase him down. First blood.
But first,
the HcE there. Viking trying to make that 5-man move, but HcE, they were prepared. They were there ready on the high ground.
Very nice. Perfectly positioned. Yeah, get the high octane team the first blood. Sure, why not?
Yeah. So that's the dream way for this sort of lineup to start. I mean,
30 seconds to back.
Sort of Viking, you know, how are they going to be able to hold off this power that HcE is going to be building up? Like, do you see sort of this Timber being able to turn up, sit in front of a tower and being able to stop and slow down HcE? Or do you think HcE are, I'm going to really struggle with killing him when it does come to trying to hold the towers on Viking side?
I think Storm was a decent solution. Give them a little bit more damage, because besides the Storm, their damage was pretty much zero to actually kill that Timber when he set up around these towers. So I mean, Viking, they could be able to defend them if they do set up properly. Toby has to be prepared already, like sat up on these towers. Then they need to have either the Puck and Grimstroke setting up, and Timber, he parks himself, but he doesn't clear the wave so fast they can still. They're gonna need a nice joint effort to be able to stop these huge pushes that would come. Because HcE, they're gonna group. It's gonna be a very group heavy. I like that they didn't put themselves fully locked into this situation though, where you're stuck in a position where, oh my God, we didn't push and end the game at 20 minutes, we lose the game. They can also scale. So I don't want to just set this up as
no, yeah, because I was gonna ask.
Over.
Yeah, how
Jug and Storm can scale quite nicely. If they get too far ahead, then they're going to just be able to deal with everything that Viking has, even if it gets to later stages, because the Jug can go back to Battle Fury, Storm can be a bit greedy, so there is a bit of push and pull there that they can work with.
Dyer's
I mean, because that is the thing. Do you think this Jug, Charlie, will he build like the Battle Fury anyway, or you think when you have this sort of draft, he's not going to go for that? He is going to try and build these items that are going to enable him getting fighting, maybe go the Maelstrom.
Honestly, after watching the way that OG does it, like that bot's minus when you take advantage of push. Like, it's clowny, but especially with this lineup where Healing Ward's going to be so good, I could see him, if he wanted to go that route, he could go something green. That seems to just be a very mid-one thing, but hey, I do think there's a possibility for it for him. As we see some creep manipulation up top, both are trying to equal out the lane positioning, because they can't kill Toby. It's a Chen. If they had a different support, they could kill him maybe once or twice, but with the Chen, it's really hard. As soon as Toby hits 3, the Jug's not enough.
I mean, he
yeah.
You know, not like he's going to be making any early moves up top, so no real threat of being ganked.
And look at what Aramis did. I haven't seen this in some time. So there was a time actually at TI where teams were doing this a lot. You pull these triple melee creeps and you keep them. You don't take the whole wave. You only kill your range creep. So he's now done, I think he did it the first wave too, but now this wave he did do it. Kills his range creep, and now this is going to mess up that whole creep equilibrium. So Toby gets a lot up top, and they deny a significant amount out of this. I have not seen this done in a very long time. It's a really tough thing to make work every time, is you have to pull it perfectly into your range. But yeah, it shows that he's working on it.
Come over to mess around.
But he got it on the range creep again. Look at that range creep. Look, they're dancing between who wants to get the deny. Zibe, can't get the last hit, gets the deny. Lane's gonna push into Toby's favor. Very happy Timbersaw and an unhappy Charlie.
No, absolutely. The wave is gonna add up. I mean, it already.
I forget who did it so consistent. Someone did it very consistently. I think it was at TI. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was a common thing that we started seeing a lot, and we're like, oh my God, that is some big brain stuff. Pulling it onto that range creep. Seems small, but very impactful.
elsewhere on the lane. But pretty close, really, to start with. Mid lane, Boom, 18 for 2. Supreme, 3, but he's coming in. So pretty much an even matchup so far in the mid. Is that expected here, or do you sometimes see one of these heroes take the lead in this match?
Very skill-based matchup. They're actually just ganking Supreme. Oh, nice move here from Aramis, getting the kill.
Supreme, I mean, he's going to turn, but not quite enough burst to threaten Boom. Boom will get away with it. We'll lose his courier, or maybe not. Yeah, it's okay. Zibe has got it.
I've seen this matchup go both ways. It really is just as like who gets like the better setups for last, better blocks, better small things coming. The Puck slightly, I think Puck is a little bit easier to make work, but I have seen Storms win this match. Nice move from Aramis though, and they did a good job of like pushing the lane in really hard so they can go for that dive play. That's the thing that Puck can always do for Storms. And now Ruin is being secured as well by 2 supports from Viking. But Era actually does guard it off, block away that Grimstroke from getting it to Supreme. Will freely fill the bottle. And has a way to play around Silence at least with that illusion rune.
I might. Aramis was swing mid and step up to him once again. Sitting on both the carries right now. Shad having the slightly better time in terms of farm, but going to get gone on a bit by Era and HcE. Clear for the illusions pretty quickly as well, as now they'll be able to continue to chase him down. Celery from the side, slowing the 2 of them. Shad will... They're going to be able to burst if they are. Got him. They're able to reach in, and with that final bit of burst, I mean, it all adds up there. That chase long enough for them to basically get 2 rounds in there with the axes and the aftershock. And it's too much for Shad to deal with.
And I was going to point this out too, that I'm so happy HcE went for the build. Rather than going for interview, yeah, sure, your right clicks are weaker, but your axes are magical. You're playing into a high armor hero like Naga Siren, and magical axes get 2 stacks of them when he's too far up. That's exactly what gets him a kill. Big props to HcE for going this build. Don't see it. We see it a little bit more often lately, but yeah, when you're playing versus those high armor heroes, people will remember magical axes for quite some time now.
Stupendous! Coming through!
Top, Charlie still continuing to struggle up here, and Toby is getting kind of close to the 6. They're actually going to be able to bully him a little bit. Should be fine with his watch charges.
Oh, gets a courier.
Himself a courier. All right.
And yeah, Toby's not going to quite be able to finish up the kill. Charlie has 6 charges.
Jibe could die here. There's an Orb of Venom. They're just right-click and chasing him.
Oh, but the stun misses. I mean,
he's healing himself up.
He's still dead.
Oh, Priest.
He is still dead. He does indeed try his best to keep himself alive.
Dire's top tower.
That's cute. He's mana burning them. Look, he's mana burning Toby and healing himself up. It was a nice attempt. And maybe Charlie can get a return kill.
I mean, he doesn't want to go looking. Bottom lane, Shad.
Dire's bottom tower.
He's in with the illusions this time around. HcE unable to clear them out.
Boom, gets him stopped. The haste through top, gets a lucky spawn, and Shadow Shaman was checking bottom rune. That's why they went aggressive onto the Beastmaster. We'll get over it anyway. So all 3 lanes looking pretty good right now for Viking. Toby will be able to Timber Chain away from the Jug. Yeah, doing a good job. The Beastmaster, they did get the 1 kill on that Naga Siren, but we do see Shad is still absolutely getting, for the most part, free farm down here, and he is slowing down HcE more than the Timbersaw is being slowed down on the opposite end. Timber can't be pressured in the lane.
Quickly as I go.
Boom's actually getting active, so it looks like they want to try to make a move top. Charlie's going to get the early spin off, and that means no spin for when Boom's here.
And indeed, Boom just turns Dream Collar down. He's got the Omni Slash, and they're coming in with the tip. They're actually to get the setup as well. Boom's going to get dragged back. Supreme saving the day.
I mean,
what a move there to counteract what looked to be a smooth play from Viking. Down bottom, Era, he's turning on a Stellar. He's able to get the kill with the help of HcE. Axes come back out. Era and HcE are going to be fine. It's 3 heroes dying on Viking across the map. I mean, yeah, that top lane move there, no hesitation for Supreme to turn up.
You couldn't say anything better. Like, that was just absolutely perfect the way they did it. Charlie with the Omni setting himself up, and he's safe to stay up here too. Is the important thing. He's been restored up too from that creep. I think Supreme maybe gave him like a bottle charge or something. There's a lot of mana that you can see. But yeah, Charlie now gets to stay up here, and they kill the Timber. They slow him down finally.
We'll see it again here. I mean, it does start, as you say, it's like, all right, there's no spin. This looks pretty good here. They're going to be able to kill the Jug, but as soon as they go on the Jug, that TP's coming in. He gets that Omni Slash. I mean, he's only just hit the 6 as well, so a brilliant time for him to have that. And Supreme Perfectly done. Target to target controls and takes down the two of them.
Real good stuff coming out from High Coast here in these last few moments. Still not having the full lead here at these 8 minutes. It's very close though, as they've been able to at least match most of these kills and at least fix the situations where that Timber is getting a little out of control. But now they do have to give the respect still to Timber. Charlie has to back out of that lane, go to the jungle, and now Toby's going to be able to apply good pressure onto this tower. While on the opposite end, Beastmaster can't apply the same pressure just yet.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Catch another accelerate.
Charlie will just spin down the wave top, just let that nice wave clear. Boom, still looking to think. He's still thinking about making some move toward top, it seems. He has a DD in his bottle. He'll get some stacks started, but he doesn't want to be playing the lane. He wants to be hiding off the map as this Puck so that they feel threatened in the side lane, and then just give the Nyx the mid lane, as we see right now. Aramis taking that XP in mid, and Puck will just farm. So even when he's off the map, it's still that invisible pressure that's being caused.
Dire's top
Same
tower
for the
is
Naga
under
Siren, but
attack.
a little bit of downtime for both sides.
I mean, the fact that Jug is still that bit ahead of Shad, you know, just goes to show how much a difference that sort of turnaround play made from Supreme. I mean, Charlie with the Maelstrom. I mean, who is able to sort of farm faster? This Jug or the Naga Siren? Like, is Shad going to be able to take over with the game as it is, or is Charlie going to be able to stay ahead?
A bit early to tell. It's very, very even right now. The Maelstrom's going to be a good timing, though. As Salary 6 already bottom. Boom rotates.
Dire's top tower
This time
is
round,
under
he'll be able to get
attack.
the easy kill on a Jesse. As, wow, Supreme's going to come up with a counterplay. Just a nice dodge there from Supreme. He's out the way of the impale. He's heading for the bouncy route. And yeah,
Nice
the bottom
by
reveal. And Era stopping.
Radiant's
potential
top
chase
tower
from
is under
Boom.
attack.
Very nice. The Maelstrom build is just so good this game, though, for Charlie. So there's definitely hopes for him to have that potential to keep himself scaling versus this Naga. Even if they don't get their big push going, this is a great item this game. Versus Naga, versus Timbersaw, this magic damage will be nicely effective.
Very close here. Early on. I mean, what sort of timing do you expect we'll see High Coast start to group up and go? Like, is there some sort of big
Dire's
item
top
or?
tower is under attack.
Just right when they get this book 1 on HcE, I think that's right when they start pressuring the towers, and he's got it coming already. I think you have to start, even though you're feeling comfortable with the game, you want to start kicking up the pace, and that's what your draft does. You have Shadow Shaman, Beastmaster, Chen. You really want to start forcing these towers to get this advantage.
Radiant
The other team, you know, the opposing team
fortified.
Viking, they don't have tower hitters. They have Timbersaw.
Charlie!
Now they went out to the bottom.
All right. He ran straight towards them now. I think.
Okay.
I guess he felt that he would get the chance to play aggressive into them. Maybe didn't expect quite as many of them to be
Dire's
hidden in the
top
trees
tower
as there
is under
was.
attack.
But
That's a disaster.
it did make for quite a funny looking situation there as Charlie runs into his death.
It's right before the book, I think, was even summoned too, or something like that. That was just a little bit too ahead of time. And Viking, they're going to punish more.
Yep, Dream
Can't
Bow
make
down.
mistakes, High Coast.
On the side, in they go. Just going off, two of them off to the side. Mech will be popped. There gets the headshot, Supreme. He's coming up with the control roar as well. So they'll take down Aramis. If they can find anything more, Toby's already out the high ground with the chain, and they've got no further catch.
Dire's
Oh my, they clear up the book and
fortified.
several of the Chen summons, though, from Toby. And the important thing is that they completely
Dire's
stopped this
middle
tower
tower
push.
is
It's
under
only
attack.
at half HP. That was one of the bigger pushes that High Coast does in the early game, and it's just completely stopped. Naga Siren's getting free farm. Bit concerned here for High Coast if they don't make the push happen perfectly the next time. Viking GG's is getting way more out of the map, and they're taking top tower and they're defending their tower when they're playing versus the Chen Beastmaster Shadow Shaman lineup. That's a bit of a tough.
They can't afford to mess one of those. Yeah.
No, it really hurts Charlie too. Any downtime when he's dead, Naga Siren just skyrockets back. Charlie has to be very careful.
I mean, that's the thing as well. Yeah, dying before you even have the Maelstrom done.
Yeah. They can't make this. They can't make any more mistakes. It feels like these pushes have to go the right way, or the threat's gonna start being there. That looming threat of Naga Siren, where you don't have the tools to deal with it as well. Sure, you have the Jug going Maelstrom, but the rest of your lineup does not address these illusions. And Aramis, he has a Meteor Hammer already somehow done.
Dire are scanning.
You do get the scan, Charlie. Seeming to know something's up.
They've got Puck around.
Dire's
And they're not
middle
going to
tower
try. They're not
is
going to
under
try
attack.
and
No, Aramis might just give him like a poke and run maybe or something like that, but
Yeah.
I think he knows that there's some help at the side. Now they're gonna actually smoke to try to find Aramis. He's beating this invisible annoyingness though. He's setting up on Charlie.
he is instantly on the back line, straight away on the boom with the silence. Sarah steps forward with the Hex onto Aramis, as they were indeed perfectly prepared for this, High Coast. They knew that Viking was hunting around. They knew that they'd be persistent as well. Now that scan did come in quite a while ago, but trusting that Viking would go for that, and they did. You know, they read that perfectly, High Coast.
Patience is a virtue. A great scan just leads them to being patient. So some tune. And that's the Orchid reveal, so a good timing.
Radiant's
Supreme
top
also
tower
level
is
12
under
for his level 2 zip. And now, just to get those skills right next to tower, Serpent Ward's healing ward. They'll get
Radiant's
themselves
top
back into
tower
the game plan. Oh, Courier 2, why not?
And a plate
Dire's
mail.
middle
With the
tower
plate mail.
is
Yeah.
under attack.
So what, that's the Lotus build-up, I assume, for Toby. Pretty solid Lotus game versus Orchid. Echoing Shackles and Roar.
Charlie,
Celery is invis on Celery.
I was going to say, Charlie's farming a bit deep. He hasn't got the whole team around him, man. Only got the Ket. The rest of them are backed off, so...
Oh, there's a Sentry. Okay, so that's one way to scout out Charlie. Shout out for Charlie, that is. He will get the bounty.
Radiant's
Aramis
middle
stun off
tower
Lamar.
is under
Tried to
attack.
max range it. And now they're bringing Supreme over. So with their 10, yeah, they're very strong around this area.
My thrift
We'll
reward.
scare Viking away. Viking doesn't want to just run into all these clashes, you know. They are playing man down for the majority of this game. It's the Naga Siren firing on this side. Have to be a little cautious. Supreme? Ooh. Risky place to show himself there on the mid lane. Viking more than prepared for these pushes, though. They see it starting to be kind of telegraphed. They bring all the spammers out to the mid lane. Grimstroke, Nyx, Puck all set up in the area, while Timbersaw deals with the opposing push on the other side with a... Trying to keep the catapult alive, Charlie. Or tanking the tower for a moment.
Well, they'll slow it down, though. High Coast push back. I mean, yeah, this I think the Naga Siren definitely going to be a bit of a worry. Oh, they actually get the opening. Boom, he steps in. Is he going to be able to lift those? The stars into the boot. Is he out? He's not. It was close, though. He nearly actually survived that jump. At the same time, down bottom, they get the setup onto the chest. He had to find something in return. No, chest is able to turn. Pop the roar. Chest is going to live. The backup's inbound from Supreme. He's got the Orchid good to go again. See if they got enough to burst through this Timbersaw. They have the follow-up Hex. The controls there from Error. As Supreme picks the triple up from mid lane to bottom lane.
Definitely tipped. He is carrying the hell out of this game right now. 7-1-3. Every rotation he's done has been pretty much successful, and he always gets the right heroes. And again, right in front of a tower. Or drop the wards. This Supreme is... He ate his Wheaties as well this morning. It seems like he's really killing it.
Popping up.
He's got a Yule's already. So he's got now ways to deal with these tires.
I mean, like, they do need to get objectives, but at the same time, as you say, you know, Storm, Jug, late game, they're going to be pretty strong. Especially if this Storm's having such a good game as he is. This guy's going to be ready to carry anything if he keeps up this level of performance. It's obviously, it's just going to get, you know, for High Coast, can they try and hunt the Naga Siren, or do you think that's going to be too hard to do? They just sort of just have to focus on pushing and taking objectives to the point where Shad, he kind of has to turn up and help the team.
I think they should just be playing their own game. Yeah. If they can, maybe once or twice they can catch Shad because they have Hawks and they have a good vision aspect, but Shad should be in a pretty defensive where if they go for him, they're gonna counter gank super hard for him. Boom. He's got his Witchblade, so he's got good damage as well with the Fairy Trinket. He doesn't have protection. We're seeing that being quite a big problem. Storm Supreme is just focus firing this puck in every single one of these engagements. Now they have a Lotus. Now they will have a way to at least remove that silence. Toby does have that at the ready.
He's going to be throwing that down on Boom every time.
D-Ward's coming out from the book 3. Toby trying to clean up that book 3, but that's gonna get a lot of his mana maybe taken away. Daramus forces stop, and yeah, they really want this mid tower so they can start getting access maybe into the triangle.
Radiant structures are fortified.
This time around, they should be able to finish
Dire's
it.
top tower is under
As soon as they want to try and jump in for any kills, or
Radiant's
just let it
middle
be.
tower
Toby will get the deny. Thing taken away.
Now they can maybe start to try to get some more information around the triangle area. It's still very hard to invade and find Shad, but with that tower down, they have a little bit more access, a little bit more windows to sneak in there. Main target though, tier 2 bottom. Don't know if they'll make it in time though. For the outpost at least, 30 seconds. It's possible. Continuing to apply the pressure, trying to shrink the map versus Shad.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Are scanning. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's top tower is under attack.
More D-wards. They're taking out pretty much all the vision of Viking with these books and with these wards and the Hex.
They're going to try for him. The Dream Core's down, Phantom's Embrace down, onto Jug. Gets the Omni Stash out, jumping back to low ground, Styles in on the move, they put him back for the Vortex. Boom! He's taken out. As again, Supreme finds his target. Boom's going to come back in with the buyback, but Charlie chases down Celery, takes him out with a Maelstrom proc. Up on the high ground, Toby's still alive. Looking to try and turn things over towards High Coast. Trying to have some of his mana taken away. Charlie, he needs help. Blade Fury's going to be up in his neck, but they're in with the impale. Hand Rock comes out. Charlie's able to put the Blade Fury, but they've got the physical damage. They bring Charlie down.
Middle tower is under
They're
attack.
trying to chase for more. He's on to Era. HcE popping the roar here to just hold Toby back. They don't lose anything else here. They try and treat. They get everyone else out of there. They're losing Charlie, but it is indeed 2 rounds of Boom having a go at that.
Dire's structures are fortified.
It was a really good fight the way that they just held their ground too on the high ground for High Coast. As soon as Charlie's pushed away though, that's when Boom buys back the opportunity to actually take him away when he's not grouped up with his team. And despite mid still might happen. High Coast are pretty healthy on mana. 8 seconds for
Dire's
Charlie.
middle tower is under attack. Dire's
Losing
middle
tower
tower has fallen.
And that is the first fight where Shad shows up.
Yeah.
That's before the Scotty. So now with Scotty, he's going to be a lot more threatening and using his tank ability. So he's going to be about at the 3,000 health point. Very hard for them to actually focus fire him at all.
It really does feel that the Naga Siren's progress is definitely going to be concerning for High Coast. The fact that Shad is where he is, you got to imagine, Viking, at least from their perspective, when they pick this hero and draft, down 6 to 14, down 1k gold at 22 minutes. That feels like it's probably part of the plan, right? Then Vikings gonna be feeling that for them that this game's playing out how they want it to. Sure, it'd be great for them if they were smashing and dominating, but I don't think they would have expected that. This is at least the level of progress they expect.
Absolutely, and it is maybe Boom is expected to have maybe like less depth in this puck, but it's a puck into Shadow Shaman. Sure, this hasn't been the Shadow Shaman who've gotten the hexes and stuff on him, but you're gonna give up some deaths in this game. It's gonna happen, and the puck's gonna be bound to get caught by something. High Coast, they're committing forward here. Wards are being cleared out. Illusions quickly clean them up. Coast backing away after they forced everybody back into the base.
fair bit of damage to the tier 3, but as soon as Shad turns up now, they have to back off completely. And we'll see Charlie trying to do his best to deal with the illusions, going full in on the Mjolnir after the Mantis stuff.
He has to be the one to fully address it. Like, Boom, he has some amounts of magic damage, but this Naga Siren will become overwhelming very quickly to deal with. Even like, it's just crazy how easily he's able to deal with the summons and everything too. The Serpent Ward's dying 2 hits, not extra hits. The books, he kills him, who cares? Last will kills one of his illusions, whatever, he gets 200 gold for it. Really feels like a very good solution. And High Coast, they're still trying to force the issue though. They don't want to give this Viking draft any more time. It feels like they do have to close it out pretty soon. It's gonna get kind of scary for them.
You can definitely feel that as well. They're standing right outside the base of Viking, ready to go in again. Try and go in onto Toby, but he's tanky. He's out to the side, can't quite come up with the draw as the Lotus Orb prevails. Supreme getting him jumping onto Shad. The Boom's turned up, Dream Core's down on the 2 of them. Charlie's going to snap it. There's the healing ward out. It's going to be fine. Chester trying to walk back and gets the raw on the target. He's found Boom. Supreme will zip in for this to finish off the kill. They've got the lockdown, but the song's coming into play. Charlie trying to chase him with the Blade Fury, but can't quite finish off Aramis. Zips in, Supreme, he'll finish off the kill. Get Aramis, they're coming in with the slash, but it's off the illusions. Shad's able to make it away, but it might not matter. As they've found the 3 kills, they're onto the racks. They don't need to kill Shad here, they get pretty much everybody else. And that will allow them to take what they came for, 24 minutes, taking the racks down. High Coast plan, it's working out. This is exactly what they needed to achieve, and they're doing it.
Yeah, and it's like Viking, they were only slightly behind, but High Coast, they understand the point where they can actually protect forward. And Boom, he has no ways to protect himself. Still a ways away from the Yules. They used the Lotus initially to protect Toby himself, and that's when the window was seen. Chassis somehow gets the roar on the puck, and then Boom just gets killed by Supreme. 10-1 and 4, playing the game perfectly. They gotta keep it up. Now they have a side advantage. Naga Siren's still a looming threat, but they solved a bit of that issue.
Boom's now. Supreme has got the BKB. BKB in the back with the Greaves as well. From Zibe. It's going to be very hard to kill this Storm, even if he does make these aggressive moves that he's been getting away with the whole game. That's over the pit. Trying to take that Chesty. They're moving on to it. Supreme, who's he going to find first? He's looking for the support from the back lines, but already with Glimmer Cape and the Vendetta, the 2 of them are able to get away, but they've lost Boom. And now on the Toby. Toby's out of mana, and they've got the damage to take him down as High Coast hit the 2 of them. Supreme stepping over towards Aramis. As the roar comes out from Chesty, they lock down the next assassin. It's more kills by High Coast around the pit, as they can take this Roche without any further interruptions from Viking. And they are keeping that pressure on exactly as they need to. It's 20-6. And they're going to be very much ready to start looking up the tier 2s and tier 3s barracks in another lane right now, as they've got everything required to take these objectives down.
Just such good focus fire by them, honestly, every single time. Boom is just getting owned. He's getting completely outplayed in every single one of these fights. 3-6-0. He just keeps getting caught by roars, by hexes, by everything. There's too many things that he has to deal with. And he's too far behind to protect himself. Celery shows himself with the stroke of fate.
You will be forever.
No, I guess this is the thing, you know, as popular as Puck is, it's definitely getting to a point where this hero shows up so much that teams are going to have pretty smart ideas as to how to play against it, right? And we're really seeing that here from High Coast, as the Puck's just having no chance against what High Coast is bringing to Viking in this game one.
Supreme is by far my MVP this game. He's played this so damn well. Every gank has worked. All of his targets that he's gone for has died when he's made the jump initiative too. It's just really good understanding of who he has to target, who he has to focus fire on, and it's got them into such a good position now. This game is okay, gold lead. Second Rax is getting taken out. Viking moving off the east of me. Charlie's going to be able to reset. He's got healing ward up for 15 seconds. Of course, the spell's being done with the Aegis. I guess we didn't point that one out, but we did see this actually from mid one yesterday. Doing the healing ward cooldown. You have this big push. Yeah. Just keep spamming your healing wards.
He's got a full axe as well after that Mjolnir now.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually was surprised he didn't pick up the shard, but it doesn't feel like he needs it as they're mostly just playing around siege. And hey, they don't need to kill the Naga Siren. They're just taking out the buildings and killing everyone else.
I mean, that's really what's happening. You know, Charlie's just stepping up. He's hitting the tower. He's not too fussed about the other heroes. I mean, he'll jump in on them when they sees an opportunity and Chess is able to find a roar. But other than that, he's happy to just walk up and continue to take down these objectives, and they'll get it. Tier 3's gone. And Viking just not able to do much at all in terms of pushing them back.
No, they can't take advantage of whenever Charlie's healing ward is down, because look, it's back up again. As soon as he does back up, it'll reset, and then they can go and start knocking again. They have to try to find the back lines or something, as they're just gradually losing their base. The Vikings need to find some type of sneaky approach here.
Coming through!
Yeah, how do you start things as Viking? We yet to really see them use the song to set anything up aggressively. Is it just too hard to do that? Do you just not have the best follow-up?
They don't have the best. They have okay with like meteor hammer on the Nyx, but it's not then it's not you doing the synergy with it. So it's a lot harder to time it perfectly. Puck coil is a little weird, a little iffy to actually get it set up after it. It's not Enigma Black Hole. It's not Disruptor. It's not Ice Cap. It's much harder.
Oh, they're in. The jump. They're going for Aaron's on the back lines. He's out with the Glimmer Cakes. The Blink coming in with the BJP. The Slash is coming out, and then on this time he's taking down Toby. Charlie, he gets the kill. Toby has to buy back straight away. So Warp's down. They're going to be able to clean up the range rack. Now Heiko's trying to turn over towards the melee. The Roar's out onto Aramis. Nixon's is down. They've got the hex onto Shad. They're moving in. They've got the shackles. Germany's protection on the front line. Shad's able to get out with the Manta. Toby is trying to force them back, but they're going to turn everything towards him. As they're zipping in, back over to Aramis. Shad having to use the song to keep his team safe. But the hammer stand up, but the timing can't quite be there as Charlie, he's found the window to put the blade through. He moves over to Shad. Shad's out of the game for good. He's dead for 50. No buyback on him. As they'll buy back on Celery. They're trying to do their best to push them away, but the top racks have been taken out. 26-6, 21k lead here. As High Coast, they really did. They slammed their foot down on the pedal. They sped it up.
Radiant's middle tower
it always looked like they would have this chance with their sort of lineup. Like the draft looked strong, and High Coast, they're just playing to its strengths perfectly.
Yeah, they've executed actually just perfectly. I've seen so many clean games because of these teams. Charlie, the Lotus here.
I mean, they're ready to just start making these jumps again. Over towards Aramis. Aramis goes down. They're going to grab back on the boom. Boom dead yet again. Toby as well being held back. They're going to call it. There's nothing they can do to turn this one around. And GG is called at High Coast. Take game one. And, I mean, they needed this High Coast. They've had a rough showing.